Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Since the military operation started in Ukraine, when Russia started it, there were a lot of reports stating that Russia and the United States of America had no contact between their military leadership or political leadership, foreign ministry and so on. I disagree with that. There were here and there the ones that they told us that, for instance, Shoigu spoke with Austin or Milley after 5 months or 6 months of not talking, and then Lavrov spoke with Blinken regarding the cannabis girl who's got a 9.5-year contract in a Russian penitentiary. And now again, I think they spoke behind and before and after the 24th of February. Through different various channels that we are not supposed to hear exactly. Obviously, that's confidential, and I'm pretty sure they negotiate and they speak like this. There's no like, oh, Mr. Shoigu, oh, Mr. Austin. Nah, I think they're like in a marketplace. But what do I know, right? Let's go with this article where we find out that actually Russia's defense minister Shoigu spoke with the head of Pentagon about the war in Ukraine. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda and it's coming from the 21st of October 2022. Russia's defense minister speaks with head of Pentagon about war in Ukraine. Sergei Shoigu, the Russian defense minister, discussed the situation in Ukraine with his US counterpart Lloyd Austin during a phone call. A lot of questions, right? And I'm quoting, on 21st of October of 2022, Army General Sergei Shoigu, the Minister of Defense of the Russian Federation, and Lloyd Austin, the United States Secretary of Defense, held telephone talks. Current issues of international security were discussed, including the situation in Ukraine, end quote. Previously, on May 13th, US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke with his Russian counterpart Sergei Shoigu for the first time since the start of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine. Since then, there have been no reports of any talks between them. Okay. On October 2nd, Austin said that he had given Shoigu a warning regarding the possible consequences of a nuclear attack on Ukraine. Well, it's so evasive. Why would they talk about it now? You see, it doesn't say here who called whom, who initiated the talks. I don't think that's really, I mean, it would definitely make us understand the content of the conversation if we were to know who called whom, obviously. And who calls first or who initiates something usually is in the inferior position in the at the negotiation table, because that says that that person wants something and the other one did not. So you have to offer something in order for the other person to discuss with you whatever you want. I don't think Austin would call Shoigu and just to threaten him or something. I mean, that's other channels to do that. You got Weasel Kirby and you got Weasel Blinken and you got the other one, I can't remember his name, another Weasel. Anyway, full of weasels out there, but somehow they're in charge of us and we are so good and great. Something is not right about the system if people like that get in that kind of position of power and control. So I think this has to do with the new how do you call it, increase in Russian missile and rocket attacks in Ukraine due to the Kerch bridge destruction, or at least attack. But we can only speculate about it. What would be the other thing? Maybe the NATO exercises that will occur, or I think they occur, organized obviously by United States of America. There would be another thing. Maybe can they discuss the situation in Belarus with the Russian forces gathering over there. I saw an article yesterday stating that Russian Federation started patrolling using their aircraft to patrol the border of Belarus and Ukraine. some people say, well, that state is under occupation. Belarus is under occupation. Well, if Belarus is under occupation, I can think of Poland, Romania, and Lithuania, and other countries. What are they then? If those are partners, these are under occupation. But anyway, let people talk because that's good, because that's the way you evaluate your counterparts' arguments. That's why you have to get involved sometimes with, or all the time, you should be involved in conversation and in meetings, situation where you have people that don't think the same way you think, the people that do not agree with things that you agree, because you might learn. I mean, not might, you definitely will learn. Because there are certain things that they can bring up on the table and say, say this is this, and you might not have had that information, and that therefore you enhance your knowledge, which is thank you very much. And the other thing is always a little bit of, not a little bit, as much as possible, how should I put it, information on the opponent's weapons or way of thinking and arguments is always good, because it gets you prepared for the counter arguments if you are to have a debate. And usually debates are who's winning it. It's not to find the truth. That's unfortunate, because we should all strive to find the truth and act upon the truth. Now you say, well, what's the truth? Well, the truth is as much information that we can gather on an issue or a thing. As I mentioned many times before, the phone, you know, if you look at the phone from this side, you're gonna see it in one way. If I look at this phone only from this side, I will, see it in a different way. Another person will look at the phone from this angle, is gonna say something else. But if we meet together and we discuss it and we say, no, the phone is like this, the other guy, no, the phone is like this, and the guy, no, the other phone is like this, then we have three different opinions of what the phone is. But if we come and discuss, we're going to find out, hey, wait a second, I see the phone like this. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, I see the phone like this. Oh, I didn't know that. So you enhance your knowledge. You're going to know the phone like this, like this, like this. You're going to get more information on the phone. Therefore, conversation, yes. Debates, I will try to convince you that the phone is like this, and you're going to try to convince me that the phone is like this. So where does that get us? Make us think later, but the conversation in a debate is, I have my claims, support them, and win the debate. And I have to be a weasel. It doesn't have, don't have to be honest in a debate. Unfortunately, it's about winning it. And the winner is the public. Those are the arbiters. They will look and see who's sneakier and on making the other person look bad. So in this case, you have Shoigu and you have Austin. It's good that they discuss things. However, those conversations are the first thing in any kind of relationship or issue is to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, then that's a big problem, because if someone makes a move, I interpret it however I want, even though that move was not meant to have the interpretation I give that move. Therefore, I'm going to act upon my interpretation of your move, which could not be related to my interpretation, and then I react. He's going to take my action however he wants, and he's going to react in a different way, and then you got an escalation at the end. After a lot of losses, destruction, and so on, you say, hey, when you did that, if you communicate at that point, hey, when you did that, that's why we did it. But we didn't do that. It was not meant, oh, wasn't it? And then you realize you were an idiot for what? And a lot of time and destruction occurred. This is usually what happens in stupid movies, when they show you that it's a misunderstanding and they act upon it, like a woman sees a man giving a hug to another woman and, oh my God, he cheated on me. And actually, whatever, she had cancer and she told him as a co-worker that, oh my God, and he gave her a hug. It was nothing else. And then how the whole plot starts. I hate those stupid movies, but I try to avoid that by communicating. So this woman just move away, get out, and never speak with that guy again. And leave him because he gave her a hug, that a person, she thinks that was because they are together or something. So same here. It's good when they communicate, because by communication you can express how you see the matter, the other one can express how they see the matter, and you can discuss the evidence. Obviously, if it's the conversation is conducted in bad faith, then still is good that you communicate, even if it's, disingenuous. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.